on etymologically online, we got the word consummation and consummate. You got consummate as an adjective and a verb, which in the adjective it means to complete, perfect, or carry to the uttermost extent or degree. When you go into the word consummate, it means to bring to completion, finish by completing what is intended, or to sum up, make up, complete, or finish. And it means the same as what consummation is, meaning to bring a marriage to completion by sexual intercourse, right? Right. Completion, accomplishment. Well, when you finalize marriage, you it's a completion, or you finalize it, right? Summing up, or finishing, right? You're finishing the marriage, right? Uh, it even says at the bottom, the completion of a marriage by sexual intercourse, right? Sex is marriage. All the other things, like when you do a ceremony or a diary, those are other things that can either off your wife. She could be a virgin and you do a diary. But to make somebody one flesh, is sex has to be involved. For you to call this woman your actual wife, sex has to be involved, right? Before I even get a precept, I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakakwadash. Yahweh is the Most High God, and Yahushai is to the world, and he calls Jesus Christ. Double honors to the elder apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, who rule well and teach well through the Spirit, Lord, willing that they can continue to endure and be sincere. And a mighty shalom to the hopeful elect in the same spirit, teaching his word and believing his word, Lord willing that you can continue to endure and be sincere. Shalom to the Akwat Yom, that are believers of his faith and his truth, Lord willing that you can continue to pursue your lot, which is being a loving, a silent, and virtuous wife. And Lord willing, most have mercy on the other brothers and sisters that's not in faith. Now, I'm not going to drown you with too much, for the ones that can get it and understand it, with these just few verses. Lord willing, this is edifying, and you understand that sex really consummate a marriage. So the first one I'm going to get is Genesis 24, verse 63 to 67. It says, "And Isaac went out to meditate in the field at eventide, and he lifted up his eyes and saw, and behold, the camels were coming. And Rebekah lifted up her eyes, and when she saw Isaac, she lighted off the camel, for she had said unto the servant, What man is this that walketh in the field to meet us? And the servant had said, It is my master. Therefore she took a veil and covered herself. And the servant told Isaac all the things that had Salaki. And the servant told Isaac all the things that he had done. Salaki again. Verse 67, which is the point. And Isaac brought her into his mother Sarah's tent, and took Rebekah, and she became his wife. And he loved her. And Isaac was confronted after his mother's death. Right? This is just straight to the point. He took Rebekah and brought her into his mother's tent. How the heck did she become his wife? Because even if you read up, it's no ceremony. He put his rod in her karuji, and automatically that completes the marriage. So even if it was predestined, even if the father said, hey, get a woman from over here and do that, that's cool and all. But even if you get a woman from here, to call a woman your wife, you have to put your rod in her. Now, this is another side thing. Now, we know in the law you can't commit adultery, right? So a real adultery is when a man lays with another man's wife. Now, how can if any brother, Jerome, is about to lay with Kevin's wife, and just to make it basic, for her to be his wife, he had to put his rod in her. Now, say if you like, hey, look, you gonna be my wife, we gonna get married, such and such and such, and he never laid with her. Literally, would it be adultery? Now, you got somebody that could be betrothed, promised, or espoused, where they engaged, right? But did he put his rod in her? Because literally, adultery is when another man lays with another man's wife. And adultery for a woman is when a woman lays with another man. You see, lay with another man, or a man lay with another man's wife, he has to put his rod in her. Now, if that man already put his rod in, he would be committing a sin, technically, right? Let's get this. Matthew chapter 19, verse 5. It says, and said, for this cause shall a man leave his father and mother, and shall cleave to his wife, and they shall be one flesh. Right? How are they going to be one flesh? Right? How are they going to be one flesh if they don't consummate? Now, you could look up certain things where they twine or together, such and such and such, but in order to be one flesh, you had to consummate. Even through the spirit, how people say when you have sex, you have soul ties. How can you have soul ties with anybody if you didn't have sex with them? But don't take my word for it. This is Genesis chapter 2, and I'm going to just read verse 24. I'll read 24 and 25. I'll start at 23. It says, and Adam said, this is now bone of my bones and flesh of my flesh. She should be called woman, because she was taken out of a man. Therefore shall a man leave his father and his mother, and shall cleave unto his wife, and they shall be one flesh. And they were both naked, the man and his wife, and were not ashamed. Now, first and foremost, you don't see it saying that the son is one flesh with his mother and father. I'm just giving out a sidebar. But as soon as he cleaved to his wife, they become one flesh. How? Because of sex. And you have multiple situations, like when you go to Jacob, when Jacob get Leah, or when the father brings Leah at nighttime, he went in unto Leah. When he get Rachel, I think the next day, he went in unto her, right? And she became his wife. Now, yes, they could have a ceremony, cool and dandy, right? They could be espoused, cool and dandy, or a diary, cool and dandy. But what finalizes it? What really makes this marriage a marriage? Sex. Sex. Sex finalizes the marriage. Sex is what makes the marriage. Sex is marriage. How are we adulterous generation? Right? Through sex. A lot of us, really a lot of women, got about more than 2, 3, 4 bodies. And them women is not even with men. Especially if we was going with the scriptures, those men is still alive. Unless it was a sin that they committed. But of course, we wasn't following the law. Those women are adulterers. And some of us men, we lay with another man's woman. We are adulterers. And how does that happen? Through sex. Now you can get strong arms and get I'm just getting this. We're not gonna really get all into it, but Deuteronomy 24, verse 1 and 2. Where it says, when a man have taken a wife and married her, and it come to pass that she find no favor in his eyes, because he hath found some uncleanness in her, then let him write her a bill of divorcement, and give it in her hand, and send her out of his house. And when she is departed out of his house, she may go and be another man's wife. Now, technically, if you calling a woman your wife and y'all married, y'all had sex. You had sex. Because even back then, the time of Moses, brothers was giving up their wives just for the littlest things, so they would write a bill of divorce. But now, especially with your Hawashai, you can let your wife go because she don't know how to cook. And say you already went in unto her, you put your rod in her, that's going to cause her to commit adultery. Literally, a woman shouldn't be with another man after that, but a woman will have her little needs and her little mind, and then she would end up committing adultery, and you will cause her to sin. So now you don't want to put away your wife, but if she don't go the way that you don't want her to go, technically you don't deal with the woman, because especially in this side, we're not doing marriage the same way we was doing it back then, diary and all those other things. Marriage is not the same of how it was back then. We're too defiled. And I'm not talking about Esau, go get a ring and get on one knee, but the whole point was about consummation. Consummation finalized the marriage. So technically, if consummation finalized the marriage, to say that you guys are one flesh, that it is actually finished, this is done, sex would be marriage. So, Lord willing, this is edifying, straight to the point, out of the definition in the precepts that was given to be one flesh, or when Isaac took the girl, took Rebecca into the tent. Now, you can go here and go there, but still, it's not going to change the definition of consummation. So with that, shalom.